Sir.
Grace! Grace! Grace Ashcroft.
Yes?
My office.
Oh, coming. If this is about the report you asked for yesterday, it'll be ready in 3. No, 2 days, tops.
Put a hold on that for now. We found another body. One that exhibits the same pathology as the others we've been investigating. Now, I need a good technical analyst on this.
Okay.
I need your eyes on the crime scene. The Renwood Hotel. I know that's where your mother was murdered. Alyssa died 8 years ago. Perhaps it's time for you to face the past. Grace.
What is this?
Stay close. They're coming.
I know now that you're the one that I've been searching for. The special one. The chosen one. Miss Ashcroft.
Investigating all these strange deaths, huh?
We need to keep our voices down.
Have you seen the same shit I've seen?
Please know that you are my hope.
Everyone's gone.
Stay away from that!
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video on the channel. And in today's video I wanted to talk about a new game that was just revealed at Summer Games Fest. I wanted to talk about Summer Games Fest, but I also wanted to talk about this one particular game that was revealed at Summer Games Fest. It was actually revealed at the end of the show, and yes, I am talking about Resident Evil 9. We finally got to see Resident Evil 9. It's interesting because during the actual show itself, there was like a little segment with I forget the actress's name that played Lady D from Resident Evil 8, but they had like a little segment with her, and I guess they or Capcom had like a sale for all their games and stuff like that. And actually, what I think I don't know if it's the director of the game or they had talk about Resident Evil 9, but he was talking about, one of the people working on the game was talking about how Resident Evil 9 is in development and how we would see more, we would see the game soon, but they were still working on the game. So after that, we thought we're probably not going to see Resident Evil 9 at the show, but they kind of did a switcheroo on us, and at the end of the show, we actually did get to see Resident Evil 9 itself. And just from the trailer itself, I gotta say it looks pretty good in terms of the I guess just like the feel of it, because it is a, you know, horror game, and it's, you know, got a lot of kind of, I guess, the aesthetic of like a horror game, and there's so many there was obviously a bunch of creatures and freaking terrible things happening in this game. And what's interesting is that and I thought it was going to be this character too, because at the beginning of the trailer we see this character named, I think her name is not Alyssa, but Grace. Her name's Grace, is Grace Ashcroft, and I guess she's the child of another character from like the Resident Evil games, but I am not really familiar with that character, Alyssa Ashcroft, which I guess is a character from one of the Resident Evil games, but I had no idea. I didn't really know about that character, but when I saw that, or the girl at the beginning of the trailer with like the white hair and everything, I thought that was Rose, because we know that Ethan, well, in the last game at least, had a daughter and her name was Rose, and she had like also white hair too. So my thought was that it was going to be Rose, but it's actually another character that we're following. And we also see that character in like some like contraption, like hanging with like the freaking, she's like strapped down. So there's probably gonna be, I'm just really expecting like, because I know freaking Resident Evil 2 remake obviously had Mr. X, and then Resident Evil 7 had like the Bakers with like Jack Baker, and you just have like these it's either like a creature or like something that's just like following you around the game the entire time. And so I'm just really interested to see like what's gonna be like the main, I guess, like creature or just like monster that you're gonna be going up against in this game, that's just gonna be following you around the whole entire time. Can't speak. But yeah, man, I'm really looking forward to this game. In terms of the Resident Evil games, I have played like, I wouldn't say like a good, I haven't played all of them, but I would say I've played some of the recent ones. I've played Resident Evil 2 Remake, I've played that one. I've played Resident Evil 3, the remake of that one. I played 7 and 8. So I think those were the main 4 ones, or the main 4 that I've played. And so I am interested to see the story for this one. And we also got to see that one of the locations in the game is going to be Raccoon City. We obviously saw in the trailer that we see like a post aftermath like version of what happened to Raccoon City. Obviously we know in Resident Evil 2 Remake, or I guess just Resident Evil 2, just like the lore of Resident Evil, that whole city, or Raccoon City, got bombed. And so in this game we're actually going to see that city again, and it kind of gives like Fallout vibes a little bit, because of the whole, like, there's just a giant hole in the center of the city where the bomb went off, obviously, and it just looks like an entire like wasteland. And obviously you got the freaking police station from that game too, and it's all like, you know, dusty and dirty and like, you know, torn down and looks terrible because obviously of the explosion and everything. So I'm really interested to see how that city, or how that place takes, or is how important it is to the story itself. Obviously, there have been theories, and I have heard from some people that like Leon could show up back in this game too, and so we could see him. I did hear that maybe we could also see Jill too, and so honestly I wouldn't be really surprised if they did something like that, because you know, Resident Evil 8, or I think it was Resident Evil 7 that reintroduced Chris Redfield back, I think, and then he was obviously in Resident Evil 8. And so I wouldn't be surprised if they put like an older version of Leon in this game, or Jill, or something like that, just for, I guess, like nostalgia purposes, I guess. But in terms of like the gameplay itself, I don't know if I don't know if it's going to be, because I don't know if they officially said this. I don't know if it's going to be first person like how 7 and 8 was, or if it's going to be like third person like the remake games. Me personally, I don't really mind either which way they do. Like, I don't mind if it's first person, I don't mind if it's third person. I think for me personally, when it comes to horror games in particular, if something's in first person, I am a lot more, I guess, scared, or I feel more like, I don't know what the term or the word for it is. I feel more, I feel like I'm in the world more, like, because I'm obviously seeing through the eyes of the actual character. And it's not from like a third person point of view where I like can see the character, and so like I'm just seeing everything through the eyes of the character, and for me, that just makes like things more scarier, I think. So I don't know, I feel like they could go either which way. And yeah, in terms of like how much they're going to keep from the other games and how different it's going to be, I'm not really sure. We'll just have to see when the game comes out. But yeah, man, in terms of, I guess, like Summer Games Fest as a whole, I did watch the show live, and just giving my, I guess, my honest thoughts and opinions on the show. I thought it was okay. I liked the show. Obviously they showed off some pretty cool games. Other than Resident Evil 9, they did show off some, they showed a little bit of Death Stranding. They showed like a little like cutscene between like two characters. I know there's supposed to be like I think there's supposed to be like a gameplay like deep dive actually tomorrow, as I'm recording this video, because I'm recording this video on June 7th, and I'm pretty sure tomorrow, I think Jeff Keighley is hosting an event with Hideo Kojima, and they're supposed to be, I guess, showing off gameplay and stuff like that. And so this wasn't really like anything I could really go off of. I mean, obviously when it comes to Death Stranding, I can never really understand what's going on. I still need to play through the first game, because I know the second game is coming out this month, and so I am looking forward to trying the first one out at least, and then trying the second one out. They obviously they showed off some Lies of P DLC too, that actually dropped the same day that it was announced. So, you know, Lies of P fans, you know, you get to have a new something to play, so that's cool. They also showed off Onimusha, A Way of the Sword. That was another game that I thought looked, in terms of the combat itself, I thought looked interesting and cool, like with the sword play and everything like that. I thought it looked interesting. Other games, they showed off a new Deadpool game, but it's supposed to be like VR, and so hopefully that's good, because obviously last year they had Batman Arkham Shadow, and that was VR, and people really enjoyed that game, and so hopefully they can do the same thing with Deadpool. When it comes to VR games, I don't have a VR personally, and so I can't play any of these games. But it would be nice to, you know, try out specifically Batman Arkham Shadow and, you know, a Deadpool game. I would have, me personally, I would have wanted a AAA like styled like actual game, like Deadpool game. But, you know, I feel like, you know, with VR, I feel like, me personally, I don't really gravitate towards VR that much, but like just the idea of it can be so interactive and cool that like I can understand why some people would, you know, want to do that instead of, you know, making a console game. But, you know, I don't know. They also showed off a new this was actually showed at the Game Awards last year, but they showed off a game called I think it was originally called Project Century, but when they showed it off again recently, they actually changed the title to Stranger Than Heaven, and that game looked pretty cool too. I don't know if it kind of gives me Yakuza vibes, but I don't know if it's necessarily the same people who made Yakuza. I know it has kind of like a jazzy feel to it and everything. But I thought that game looked interesting. They also showed off this game called Mixtape that looked pretty cool too. They also showed off Atomic Heart 2. They showed off a new Atomic Heart game. So yeah, man, they showed off a lot of cool games at Summer Games Fest. But yeah, man, that's really all I wanted to talk about in this video. Let me know in the comments section below what you thought of Resident Evil 9 and I guess Summer Games Fest as a whole. And yeah, man, that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, and I will see you guys on the next one. So yeah, bye.